One of the reasons to why Stardew Valley is one of the greatest indie games of all time is the longevity and replayability factor that it holds. It doesn't matter how long the game has been out for or how many times you start a brand new farm, each playthrough feels unique and surprisingly different, and the reason for this is due to the randomly generated world seed feature. A random seed is a short number or a text string that's used to create a game world or map in video games that uses procedural world generation. We see this feature most popular in the game Minecraft. But some of the main events that a random world seed changes in Stardew Valley in particular are as followed: the weather forecast and number of rainy days, the location and time of fishing bubble spots, what each garbage trash can will hold on a certain day, what items the travelling cart will sell on each day, what special items that Krobus has for sale on each day, what comes out of the geodes that you break open, artifacts that you find in the dig spots, the dates and times that trains will show up, night events such as witch visits, crop theory, meteor strikes, strange capsules and owl statues, the appearance of special types of mine and skull cavern floors on each day, what item enchantments are next in sequence, and so much more. You get the idea. All of this is entirely set by the random seed number that is generated at the very beginning of your save file, and every playthrough will have a random pattern in those events that I've mentioned. If you leave the seed field blank when you start a new farm, this will generate a random seed for every new save that you start. This is the default way to play, and it's most likely what you want if you don't want to know what's going to happen, and if you want the surprise and the challenge of dealing with whatever comes. However, if you fill that field, you're telling the game that you want to use a specific seed because you know there is going to be a certain event on a specific day and you want it to happen again. This is mostly used for speedrunners who want to try and have the stability of a routine save, but it could also be used if you want to reconstruct a certain save file that you lost, or just skip ahead to a certain thing because you're just doing test runs. I personally have never used the random seed box in Stardew Valley, but I recently came across an article about world seeds which was super fascinating. I tried to find the best year 1 world seed to ever exist, a seed with the most crazy luck of events, and after testing over 25 different lucky world seeds, I think I found my favourite. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the best random world seed in Stardew Valley 1.6 so far. Yeah, this is probably going to be a series. Alright, so day 1 of spring, a brand new year, fresh start. I'm going to showcase everything that this world seed has to offer day by day, and you can see for yourself just how amazing it really is. And if you do stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to show the actual world seed so you can use it for your very own playthroughs if you wish to. And it is also worth noting that this is for PC only because world seeds do actually work differently on consoles. I am on the standard farm, I have not remixed any bundles, and I have not ticked the box that guarantees the year 1 completion. You've got to make sure you have these settings because this will determine the seed. So what happens on the first day? Quite a lot actually, because day 1 is a really good start and things kick off right away on the farm with some brand new carrot seeds right at your feet. This is perfect to get you started, get some crops in the ground. Carrots are amazing for food source. I never sell them, just ship 1 for your collection, but use carrots for food. They give you so much stamina and this is amazing to start you off on your very first day, and they also grow super quick. If we stick to the farm, there's actually something else as well. You've got an artifact spot, some wormies right underneath your little starting area. Here you can find your first artifact, the rusty spur. If you move away from the farm, there is an insane amount of forage on day 1. All over Pelican Town, there is so much forage. I highly recommend going around and getting all the forage. You will level up your foraging skill. It's a great way to make some money, and you can complete the spring forage bundle for the community center on day 1. You can also use some as gifts and food. I've never seen day 1 forage like this before. But guys, the main thing that this world seed has to offer is the fact that you can get an ancient seed on day 1. Just underneath Robin's house, the carpenter, there is some artifact worms. If you dig this, you will get an ancient seed on day 1. Now what you need to do with this is go and take it to Gunther down at the museum straight away, donate it, and you will get the recipe to craft more, but you'll also get your first packet of ancient seeds. You can plant these off, and this is going to set you up for your first year. Get them planted straight away, and before you know it, you'll be pumping out the ancient fruit, which is going to give you a good cash flow at the very beginning of Stardew Valley. Now it is worth noting though that the artifact artifact dig spot is not guaranteed to be spawned there every time you load up this save file. If ever the dig spot is there, it will 100% be an ancient seed, but the actual chance of that dig spot appearing is not 100%, so you may have to reload and start a brand new farm with this world seed a couple of times if you do not see it your first time. So the best thing to do is start a brand new save with this world seed, head over to this spot. If there is no worms there, just delete that save, start a brand new one with the world seed until you eventually get the worms there. But it's definitely worth it, and it's not too bad because it's only day 1 anyway, so just kind of get straight to this point to double check that they are there. But if you work your way through to the beach, there is more artifact worms, a new dig spot, and this is your third artifact on day 1, which is the ornamental fan, guaranteed every single time. This always seems to give you the same one, so this is already day 1 free artifacts to donate, which is absolutely insane. So we move on to day 2. I went out, did a lot of testing, and nothing really happened on this day other than a guaranteed eel in Gus's trash can. This is the fish that you can donate to the community center. This is a great way to get the eel early on. It's guaranteed. I've tested this out and it always seems to give me the eel, so definitely worth grabbing that on day 2. There is also some more carrot seeds on the beach to add to the other 3 that you've got on the farm, which is 6 in total. Again, amazing for food. Highly recommend grabbing them, especially early on. Nothing else to write about, and even on day 3, nothing really much happened. It was quite just a normal day, but on day 4, there will be some artifact worms in the backwoods above your farmhouse, and you will find your first book, which is the Jack Be Nimble, Jack Be Thick. A part of the 1.6 and a part of perfection now is to try and find and read every single skill book in the game, and this one gives you a +1 permanent defense, so getting this early on is very handy, especially for the mines. But something else that occurs on day 4, if you go down into the town, there is a chance to get some early food items. Now this does fluctuate between certain things. For example, you can get some cookies in George's trash can. If you don't get the cookies in this trash can, you will get some bread in either Gus's saloon or the library trash can as well. This does fluctuate, but normally on day 4 you will get some kind of food related items between cookies and bread. There was even one time where I got 2 bread and 1 cookies on the same day. But other than that, nothing else really happens on day 4. Now move over to day 5. Something exciting is really happening here because this is the travel cart and she is selling a duck feather and a cherry. 2 items that you're going to need for your community center bundles if you are going down that path. And to get these in day 5 are super rare, super handy. The only thing you do need is the money to buy them, so do a lot of fishing up until then. Make sure you plan for day 5. If you really want that cherry and duck feather, make sure you've got the cash. The duck feather is 1,250, which is not too bad, and luckily enough the cherry is super cheap at only 240, so this is affordable. For day 5, you can definitely get the money for this. Now we'll skip over to day 9 now because nothing really happens up until here. On day 9 you get some more carrot seeds spawn right outside of your house. You also get another spot on the bottom of your farm. You also get a spot in the backwoods as you leave your farm. And just similar to the ancient seed spawn on day 1, there is also a chance on day 9 that another artifact worm spawns right underneath the Adventurer Guild, somewhere around here, which contains another artifact, the Arrowhead. But this is not guaranteed. You'll either be lucky and it'll be there, or it won't be there like this occasion for me today. A chance of day 1 spawning the artifact and the Arrowhead on day 9 is quite slim, but definitely worth coming up here to check because it has spawned up here a few times for me. So the seed generator obviously decides what is in the worms. So for example, the ancient seed is guaranteed on day 1, the Arrowhead on day 9. But the actual percentage and the chance of those artifact worms appearing has nothing to do with the seed generator. I think that's just random. So you've got to kind of wait for them to appear to get the item in there. But at least we know that if one does appear, that's the artifact that we're getting. But there is another artifact spot on the beach on day 9 that gives you an anchor guaranteed. This is clearly the seed for the artifacts. But next up is day 11. And this is actually quite an exciting day, because first of all, we get our first day of rain since day 3, because the world seed does determine how many rainy days you get in your save file. Now this is obviously not a good start. You want as many rain days as possible. Apart from the guaranteed rain on day 3, we've had nothing all the way up until now. But it does get better as the days go on because the rain does eventually come. But day 11 is not only about the rain, we do have some other exciting things that happen on this day. And one of them is this thing here. We get the prehistoric vertebra in an artifact worm spot, which is huge. Another artifact This is the craziest spring I've ever seen. I have never had this many artifacts in just 11 days of Stardew Valley, and some of them being really good, like the Ancient Seed too. You also get some cookies in George's trash can, some more free food. You also do get a loaf of bread in the Mayor Lewis's trash can. So this day is just blessing you right now. I mean, just look at this. This seed is absolutely crazy. But for me, the best thing that happens on day 11 is actually when you go to sleep and end the night. Because we have our first night event so early on, we get the crop fairy, which will make our crops instantly grow. Now if you are lucky enough, the crop fairy might just bless you to give you your ancient fruit instantly, but this case I don't think she did, she kind of spawned further up. So make sure you do have some crops in the ground. I've tested this out a few times. There has been a few occasions where my ancient seed got fully harvested, which is amazing and huge for this playthrough. So you can try and maybe plan and do a layout where your ancient seed will be guaranteed to be fully ready to harvest. This case we just got some cauliflowers, but this is also super beneficial because we have the Spring Festival tomorrow, so now this has really set us up to give us a big cash flow ready for some strawberry seeds. But guys, if you think this is good so far, just stick around, it gets even better. I'm going to just go all the way through spring, so if you want to see maybe a part 2, we can explore summer or fall or winter a little bit and see how good this seed holds up further into the year. But this, I'm just going to showcase all of the spring right now because it's absolutely nuts. But of course it's Friday, that means the travel lady is here, and you're going to want to come down to this one as well and not miss it because there's some important items that you might need for your bundles for the CC. And this is the crab and also the crayfish. 2 crab pot bundles that you might need, but there's also a fruit as well for only 700, which is the peach. So far we've had the cherry, now we've got the peach. It's going to save you spending money on the fruit trees, which are quite expensive, and yeah, towards the artisan bundle you're off to a good start, and of course the crab pot bundle too. So yeah, definitely worth coming down and picking those up, because this early on in the game you've probably not got crab pots, you're not going to be able to afford the fruit trees, so it's definitely worth getting those early on so you can plan ahead and get a good head start on those bundles. Now nothing really happens on day 13 because of the Spring Festival, but you now should have some decent money to go ahead and buy some strawberry seeds. So on day 14 the travel lady has nothing useful, but you can find some more free food in the trash cans, one of them being a baked fish, which is awesome. On day 15 we get our next day of rain. Day 17 is a great day to forage. There is a ton of it around, just like on day 1. You definitely want to go out and forage on this day as there is a ton of stuff all over the valley. A bonus as well is it's salmonberry season, so yeah, this is the perfect day to forage. But also don't forget, on day 17 you can also tie in the rainbow pot of gold. This only appears on day 17, and because you're out foraging anyway, it's the perfect thing to do, because who doesn't want a free leprechaun hat? Day 19 is pretty big because this is the day where you get a crucial item needed for one of the bundles in the community center down at the travel merchant. And this is the red cabbage seeds, just for 600. An item needed for the default community center bundle. You need a red cabbage to do this, and you've got to remember as well, I have not remixed any of the bundles, and I've also not ticked the box for a year 1 completion, so this naturally happens. This has spawned on default vanilla settings in year 1 in the first spring, which is absolutely amazing. Such a good seed to do a playthrough on. There is also another duck feather, so if you missed out on the one on the 5th of spring, you do get another attempt on the 19th, and you might prefer this one because it is a little bit cheaper. It's only worth 1,000. Save your money and get that one if that is something better for you. And day 20 is another big day because not only do we get another rainy day, which is fantastic, but we can also find a very, very rare item in the trash can by Joja's. The garbage hat, absolutely insane, super rare to find. I have tested this a million times to make sure this is accurate, and it appears every single time on the 20th. Rain day and garbage hat, absolutely huge. But guys, it doesn't end there, because guess what happens tomorrow? The 21st of spring is a repeat, an exact repeat of the 20th. We get another rain day, and yes, another garbage hat.
You're joking. Not another one? Oh, for God's sake, I can't stand this.
Here we go. I have never seen anything like this in my life. Back to back garbage hats and rain days. This seed is mind-blowing, and some people take a very long time to find them. The fact that we get 2 and it's back to back, which is like a same pattern, the 20th and the 21st. What is this seed? It's broken. Ancient seed on day 1. We've got the crop fairy event in the first spring. So many artifacts, so much forage. This is like the perfect seed to start off with. But guys, it does just keep on getting better. Because tomorrow on the 22nd, we have another rain day. 3 in a row, the perfect time to go and upgrade your watering can and to get stuff done that you need to do without having to water all of your crops. 3 rain days back to back is absolutely insane. But also, there is another artifact that we can get our hands on. If we make our way down to the spring onions, there should be an artifact dig spot. Here we go. With the prehistoric tool. Another artifact on this seed, absolutely insane. It does just keep on getting better. You can also get a lot of food in the trash cans on this one. There is also another book, the same one we got earlier on throughout the spring, and this is the Jat Be Nimble, Jat Be Thick. So the second time round you learn this, you'll get a good boost on your combat. I just can't believe the sheer amount of artifacts we've found already in spring is absolutely crazy. This is without fishing. I've not even done all the fishing, gone into the mines. This is just the ones around the valley. I've not even checked the mines. The next day, day 23, is another great day for foraging because a lot of items are spawning around the town on this day. This is just a Tuesday, the beginning of the week, and there is a ton of forage available to go around and collect. This could also be the perfect day to collect Robin's axe for her Lost Axe quest. You are already out foraging, so collect it as you are doing it. So nothing really crazy or special happens over the next couple of days up until the 26th, because on day 26, the travel lady's back in town. 26th of spring in year 1, you get the battery pack. Now the only downside is it's 2,500. Now the battery pack is actually not used for any bundles unless you are remixing them, and then it will appear in the engineer's bundle in the boiler room. You also are going to need 5 of these to get over to Ginger Island, so it's a good way to start obtaining them early on. We can never go wrong with a battery pack. And again, nothing really exciting happens now towards the end of spring. Nothing more major on the 26th. Absolutely nothing on the 27th. The next special thing that happens is on the 28th, the last day of spring, another travel merchant day with another item that will be very important for you. And this is the goat cheese, a perfect item to get hold of early on because goats are very expensive and you won't be able to get them for quite some time. So towards the artisan bundle, this is going to be a perfect item to get. It's 1,200 gold, so make sure you get it if you need it. It all depends on your playstyle, but it's definitely worth mentioning as it is a good item to get in spring year 1. There is another prehistoric tool. We've already had one of these, so if you did miss the first one or it didn't appear for you, there is another chance for it to appear on the last day of spring near the Hardwood Tree Raccoon Quest, Marnie's Ranch. So yeah, pick it up if you've missed it. But we end it off lovely on the last day of spring with a new artifact, another one for the collection. Down on the beach on the 28th, you will get your hands on the dried starfish. Another artifact for the collection. Spring has been very kind to us. That is the locations of some of the artifacts. I've shown you all of the ones that I have discovered. There may be some that I might have missed because, like I said, they can be a little bit funny with how they spawn. The artifacts inside the worms will be guaranteed, but it's just if you can get them to spawn or not. It's kind of random when they appear. But if they do appear, I have showed you all of the actual artifacts that are contained inside the worms, and I think we've had some very, very good ones. So that is all of the exciting stuff that happens throughout spring in this year 1. This world seed is crazy. We have had a lot of awesome things. Of course, a day 1 ancient seed. We've had a crop fairy event. We've had a ton of forage, a ton of artifacts, some crucial important items from the travel merchant. We even had 2 garbage hats, which are rare. Quite a few rain days towards the end. It's been incredible, guys. Now, if you want to see a part 2 and we move over to summer and test it out to see if the seed's any better than spring, please smash that like button and we will go do that. But also, I will show on the screen right now that this is the world seed. If you want to play this yourself, check it out, explore it, dive into it and test it even further than I have, or even just use it as a playthrough. Yeah, have fun with this one. It's absolutely insane. I really had a blast filming this and going through it. Just mind blown every time I found something new. I just hope that the summer and fall and even winter season is just as lucky and fortunate as this spring was. Please subscribe if you want to see more. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments as well, have you found any other seeds that are better than this that you would would like me to check out, because we can turn this into a series and try and explore and find even better seeds to eventually finding the best one. So please put in the comments the world seed, the number, and also let me know some of the main features that the seed has, and I will try and check them out. Maybe we'll put it into another video. But until then guys, thank you all for watching, stay safe and stay cozy.